Ever feel like you accidentally paid your credit card twice? We've all been there. Maybe you set up autopay and then manually paid the bill on top of it. Or perhaps you had a return credited to your account that pushed you into a positive balance. Whatever the reason, you are now staring at a negative balance on your Capital One statement, and it throws you for a loop. Can you even do that? The short answer is yes, you can overpay your Capital One credit card. But before you panic or celebrate, depending on your financial situation, there's more to unpack. Let's dive into the world of negative credit card balances and see what it means for you, your credit score, and your wallet. First things first, understand that a negative balance doesn't mean you're suddenly rich or Capital One messed up. It simply means you've paid more than your current outstanding debt. This can happen in a few ways. Overzealous payment. You might have gotten a little trigger happy with the Pay Now button and accidentally submitted a payment that exceeds your current balance. Return party. You returned a bunch of online shopping sprees, and now those credits are chilling on your account. Autopay and manual mayhem. You have autopay set up, but then forget and make a manual payment on top of it. This double whammy can land you in negative balance territory. So, what happens now? Here's the good news. There's no penalty for having a negative balance on your Capital One card. You won't get hit with fees or interest charges. It's essentially like having a store credit at Capital One. However, there are a few things to consider. Impact on credit score. A negative balance itself won't necessarily hurt your credit score. In fact, some argue it might even show responsible credit management by staying ahead of your payments. But here's the catch. Credit bureaus typically don't report negative balances. So, while it won't bring your score down, it also won't actively boost it. Access to funds. Unfortunately, a negative balance doesn't magically translate to extra spending power. You can't use it to go on a shopping spree and rack up a negative debt. Your credit limit remains the same, and new charges will be deducted from your available credit as usual. Getting your money back. If you'd rather have that extra cash back in your pocket, you have options. Capital One is required by law to refund any amount over $1 if you request it in writing. This can be done through their website, by phone, or even by sending a good old-fashioned letter. Here's a heads up. Capital One might also automatically refund your negative balance after a period of inactivity, usually around 6 months, on the account. They'll send you a check or deposit the funds back into your linked bank account. Now, the million-dollar question, should you overpay your Capital One card on purpose? This depends on your financial goals and situation. Here are some things to consider. Emergency fund. Building an emergency fund is crucial. If you don't have a safety net for unexpected expenses, it might be smarter to keep that extra cash readily available in a high-yield savings account rather than tied up in a negative credit card balance. High-interest debt. If you're drowning in high-interest debt like personal loans or credit cards with astronomical APRs, it might be wise to channel those extra funds towards paying those off first. The interest savings could outweigh any benefit from having a negative balance on your Capital One card. Promotional offers. Some Capital One cards offer rewards programs or introductory APRs that hinge on minimum spending requirements. A negative balance could technically prevent you from meeting those requirements and missing out on the perks. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to overpay your Capital One card boils down to your personal financial strategy. There's no right or wrong answer. Just be mindful of the potential consequences and how it aligns with your overall financial goals. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.